About time that I walk away. So I turn around to walk away, but then I look back. Sadly, it make me turn and walk away again.
Even though it looks like it's the future, it's really a long, long time ago when there were nights and they got into fights using sabers of light. Even though some things look so familiar, they're not really on Earth, yeah, it's a galaxy far, far away. Alien DNA walking around every day. No one notices.
Well, I messed up. Yeah, I made a mistake. I can't sleep. Have to find your place soon. My tailor's awesome. All the people looking. Rolling like I'm platinum. You know I've gone a long way to change my mind about it since I seen you. But I'm talking at my robot as you mill about the city, and I'm on my way. Girl, there's something that you need to know.
Even though it looks like it's the future, it's really a long, long time ago when there were nights and they got into fights using sabers of light. Even though some things look so familiar, they're not really on Earth, yeah, it's a galaxy far, far away. Alien DNA walking around every day and no one notices.
I'm supposed to be a mute, but that ain't the truth. Love wearing my blue tie and hair. Just to let you know you're not the last one to go. I was the last one to watch you gasp for air. And I heard all her sighs, see the fear in her eyes. When I took her life, I'm deranged. And I roasted you, said yummy, you'll make a step. So your flesh I'll obtain. 'Cause I got victims and I'll wear their faces. It's a risky town, 'cause I'm chasing them all away. And they'll be slain. Yeah, I'm real big, I wear leather faces. Think I saw them down on a daily basis. So I got no friends, 'cause I wear their faces.
Now that's a fire. Listen, son. Knock you in your head with my stick, with my stick. You gon' have a mark from my stick, from my stick, my stick, my stick. My stick is better than bacon. You can't touch my stick. I don't wanna. Yeah, you want my stick. Dump your coconut with my stick. Look at my stick. You gon' feel the wrath of my stick. Fear my stick, my stick, my stick. My stick is better than bacon. You can't touch my stick. It's just a stick. It's my perfect stick. My stick is my friend, born from a log. Everyone can see it's better than bacon. Why'd you get
just me. Because I want to fit in. Sorry, you're just not terribly important to me. Did you know that Whitney Houston's debut LP had 4 #1 singles on? Did you know that Christy, there are no girls with good personalities? I don't think we should see each other anymore. It never was supposed to be. Gotta return some videotapes. Have to return some videotapes. Did you know I'm utterly insane? I like to dissect girls that ate some of their brains. Gotta return some videotapes. I'm really late. Gotta return some videotapes. I guess I'm probably returning videotapes. Gotta return some videotapes. I guess I'm probably returning videotapes.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Appreciating Comic Book Art Live Tuesday. I'm excited. Sean, why are you muted? What's going on over here? Like, is this a delayed thing again? Are we delayed here? Let me look on. No. This is the second time in a row. All right. Sean. Okay. At some point, we're going to get, this is like 2 weeks in a row. Like we did this happened on Art and Stuff. It happens there on Appreciating Comic Book Art Live as well. I have no idea what's going on. Every time we go live, Sean disappears. So it is what it is. Let's see. Ja Rowe was first, says, hail, where are my TMNT fans at? Yes. Well, the real ones are just sitting laughing at the abomination that was dropped a day ago with that new trailer. All right, Sean just texted me. Let's see what he says here. Computer froze. Okay. All good. Jump in when you get a chance. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that trailer. I'm assuming you all have. It's been all over the place. But we're going to talk about it more on Art and Stuff coming up Thursday because this is a lot to dive into. And it's funny. I made a short that I put on YouTube about it. And man, did I get the current day turtle nerds upset at me. It's funny. And they're all butthurt, man. They're all butthurt coming at me in the comments. It's fun. I enjoy that kind of stuff. I get a kick out of people that are trying to troll. I dig that. I dig it. It makes my day. Got Mark in the house too. We can't thank Sean enough for being the driving force behind both Reaper Destroyer and Coney Waves. Hashtag, don't forget about Sean. Hashtag, insulin ain't cheap. Yes, that's great. I got to make sure when he pops back up, we'll read that one. That's a good one. Got Christopher in the house as well. Hello, Joe. Can't wait to hear the news on Reaper Destroyer. Yeah, so after we get through our usual video, we're going to be looking at Ronin 2 here, by the way, which is a fantastic book, one of the best books on the shelves right now. Go out and check it out. Buy it. It's a fun book. We are also, I've got a short video I found of Jim Lee talking about advice for artists. Now, it could be younger artists, older artists like me or whatever. But I think it's a really good video to listen to, and for everyone that tunes into this channel that's primarily about comic book art, I think you would get a kick out of this like 7-minute long just kind of thing he does, and just gives advice. I think it's very good for all artists to listen to. We got Sooner GM in the house. Hail, good to see you. We got MB Bonner as well. Ahoy, Joe. Ahoy to you. RJ is in the house. Hail to you, my friend. We got a member of the channel, Tarks9 in the house. Thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you. A Eccentric, hail Joe, Sean, and the chat. Hail to you, brother. Good to see you. We got Jaylee in the house as well. Hail to you. RJ, I almost said Roy. Why did I say that? RJ in the house as well. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. We got Astro Zombie, another member of the channel. Thank you. I appreciate all my members here. You guys as members get to see all the sneak peeks of the art that I'm drawing, page layouts, all that kind of stuff that I'm doing Reaper Destroyer before I even show anybody else on social media. And a lot of times there are things you guys see that I don't ever show on social media. So it's an exclusive just for you members. And I appreciate you guys being a part of this channel. We have Sean back. Let's pop him up and see what happens.
Every fucking time this thing about to go live, it's like black screen.
It's like, so weird.
My computer's got the clap or something.
Oh man.
Like COVID-22.
Got Jay from Desolate Soul Studios in house.
Hell, brother.
What's up, boys? And yo to everyone in the chat. Let's effing do this. Hail to you, brother. Good to see you. We will be there next Wednesday. Is that what it is? I look at the calendar. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be
just remind me
next Wednesday. Yeah. Got Wiley J Draws in the house. My dreams are like these when I'm feverish. Oh, you talking about the intros? Those are good dreams then, right? I got Matt Barr in the house.
Yeah, brother. Good to see you.
Yeah, everybody's streaming tonight. It's a hotbed for streaming. So we appreciate everybody that's here right now. Thank you so much. We are going to try to make everything to have this be an entertaining show for you guys. As always, we appreciate you guys every week. Chat jumped on me. Let me see where am I? We got Rob in the house, a replicator, feeling better, not dying anymore. That's good to hear.
God.
Where's your other co-host? He is here now. I don't know what he's got computer problems, you know. Got Badass Turner in the house. Hail to you, brother. Good to see you. Old Dirty Fatty. Rini's taking on the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated show was spot on. Oh, her take. So much good work done for a crap project. I'll have to check that out. I'm not sure what she said about that, but we're going to talk about that on Ott and Stuff a little bit to open up the show. So I will go and look at that. I know Ethan Van Sciver did a really good deep dive into debunking a lot of the people claiming that April should be black, and that's why she was made a black character in the new show. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting.
No, the guy just couldn't draw fucking hair good. That's all. He's just a bad artist.
Relax. We all like Eastman, right? You know,
yeah.
As far as like, his place in comics,
he's no John Byrne, but yeah, he's a goat.
Yeah, let's be honest, all right? Like, he wasn't drawing the most attractive women.
Yeah,
when he was doing the book, all right. So,
hail Jasper,
playing 9
good to see you, brother.
Jasper. Rick Saylor, member of the channel as well. Hail to you, brother.
Fuck yeah, how you doing? Good to see you.
I like how Sean taped sponges to his
I got leaky eardrums.
Got Dennis Kelly in the house. What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Hail to you. Hail to you. Past Master Dan. Yeah. Please hit the like button and watch Sean cry. He's a softie. That's true.
I listen to Boys to Men, and I eat my feelings in ice cream. Not good for a diabetic, but you know, I'm trying to get out. Oh, wait, that sounds horrible. I listen to Boys to Men.
But yes, please hit the like button. If you haven't, share this on social media. Let everybody know we're live. Let's get as many people in here as possible.
And spam everybody else that's going, like, drop our links. They won't mind. Like, they're our friends, right? Our friends.
That's true. Yeah,
if it's our friends, we'll keep them like this. Fuck them.
It'll be all right.
But if it's our friends, they won't mind.
It'll be all right. John Malin's in the house. Hail, brother. Good to see you. Says the animation should always strive to look like it was crapped out on the screen. Rainy is dumb. Oh shit. Yeah, the animation should always be looked like it's crapped out on the screen. I agree. I mean, that's what we're doing today, right?
It's like look what Marvel's or Sony's doing. Let's try their attempt. It's like
yeah. We got Snake Dog in the house as well to end this out. Hail Joe and Sean. Hail to the chat. Hail to you, brother. Thanks for being here. Guys, you will notice that Kayla is not with us again today, and she did want me to let you guys all know that she's going through a tough breakup right now, and she's just taking some time for herself and figuring out her stuff. So, well wishes to her.
Love
and whenever
you.
she's
And we'll see you soon.
absolutely, yep, we absolutely love you. The chat loves you, and whenever you want to return, you come back, and we will keep on rocking.
Please do, because our views have been sucking the past few weeks, and I'm being very selfish.
I wouldn't say suck.
I would say that.
Come on.
Oh,
Come on. No. Let's not insult the people that actually show up and watch the show.
Oh, I'm not insulting them.
Yeah.
I'm insulting
Yeah.
the ones that aren't showing up.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Insult that. Yeah. They're only here for the attractive girl, not for you know, us. Like that's
our opinion. Look what we like.
So angry here. Male is a bad man. Yeah, we will dive more into that on Thursday, guys. I've got a lot to talk about. We were actually having a really good discussion before we went live, and I was like, man, we need to save this for Thursday. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to get into the stuff that Ethan Van Sciver did and talked about that kind of pushed back on the narrative of the reason why April is the way she is. And I'll tell you all about my story fighting with the nerds on YouTube, which is always fun. It is Green Jack. Green. The simp dollars will flow now she is single. That's a good point. I'll tell her she can make some money from me.
It's great. That's horrible.
That's kind of horrible. But I did do that. Yeah, we all miss her. We all miss her. All right, guys. Before we get into Ronin Book 2, Issue 2, I don't know if this was something you guys would be interested in or not. Because I was not a huge fan of the new Spawn Batman. In general,
that was a waste of shit.
I thought it was just kind of lackluster, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a fan of McFarlane and Capullo and all those guys, but it was just something that wasn't very impressive to me. However, I am a sucker for black and white work.
Mm-hmm.
This was a book that they put out. It's the unplugged version, and it's completely just black and white art. No,
that's cool.
Yeah, no script, no nothing. And I don't know if this is something you guys in the chat would be interested in us going over. If you are, let me know. We'll do it. If not, it's no big deal. But I thought I would ask you guys because I actually forgot I had bought it until just recently because I actually haven't looked at it too much. But
now, is it just black and white or is it like unedited? So you see pencils.
I believe it's just the corrected black and white for print.
Okay.
Almost like a coloring book. It reminds me of the coloring book that they put out, the Court of Owls coloring book.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost just like that. It's actually pretty cool. Like I will say, like I kind of like this version, although there's that Joker face that just looks like ass. Never mind. I'll put that down.
So
disappointed again after seeing that. If they're here for Kayla, they were never loyal to begin with. Kayla's breakup is with Joe and Sean. Let's move on. I hope she's not leaving us.
Yeah,
that'd be devastating.
Like,
all right, guys. I'm gonna get this on screen here. I'm gonna pause this. What do? Let's try this. Let's try this out this time. I feel like you get a little bit more of the art, even though we're down at the bottom block and a little bit of stuff. But I like this. I like this view a little bit better of the video. Mm-hmm. So here we go. This is issue 2 of Ronin, book 2, by Frank Miller. I do believe Frank Miller still does the layouts, or at least has something to do with the layouts in this book. But drawn by Philip Tan with inks by Enriquez. No. I'm becoming more and more of a fan of that guy's inks on this because I saw some of the original pencil work for this and then his inks on his Facebook page. And he's actually doing a little bit of heavy lifting in certain things. Like this is actually quite loose in the pencils from Philip Tan, and they make a good team. They're absolutely knocking it out of the book. This cover is great. I love this cover. That eye is just fantastic. One thing I said about this when we did the first issue weeks ago or a month ago, whenever it was, the manga / Western combination that Philip Tan uses in this, where he'll kind of just bounce back between characters or even faces or situations where it's a little bit more heavy looking kind of Western style, and then it's a little manga, and then there's times where he kind of meshes it together. It's very interesting. I really enjoy it quite a bit. Style wise, the Zipatone is a little much. I'll throw that out there. The Zipatone, whether it's an effect, digital effect, or it's real, is a little much for me. I'd rather it just be straight black and white. But regardless, this is one of my favorite books. This and Mark Silvestri's Batman are the books I'm actually going to the LCS to pick up today. Yeah, so Frank Miller's got layouts, writing and editing in this. We got Chimera in the house. Hail, good to see you, brother.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna believe. I think this is the first time Sean's gonna see this.
Yeah, these are my virgin eyes.
Yeah, we're popping the cherry
Popping cherries.
every issue here. We're popping Sean's cherry.
You don't got to be gentle. I like that.
What I like about this book, Sean, is they really lean into the double page spread and try to tell an entire scene in just one panel double page spread. And it'll start getting more sequential as we go, but to open up like this is really cool. Like you got to have the right artist, in my opinion, to be able to pull that off. Because there is, I mean, if you read this issue, there is so much dialogue. Like this part from just like, Frank, just pull back just a little bit. Just a little bit, you know, because this is basically this kid is trying to kill this godlike creature that they were fighting. Godlike, by the way, everybody check out the Second Chance campaign of Godlike coming in. What do you say? April? Is it May now? In May.
Was it May? I think it's May now. Word it.
But yeah, check that out. Make sure you're following John Malin for all the updates on that campaign.
And just in life in general. Yeah.
Life advice and flat earth news. So
that's some beautiful rendering and textures on the bottom. I'm sorry, this is
no, tell me to pause it whenever you want, because one thing I like about this book, I keep saying that there's a shit ton of things I like about this book. one thing I like is the rendering in this book. The lighting in this book is great, and the Zipatone does help in certain areas, but there are certain times like
too much is too much. Yeah,
it's borderline too much.
We get
for
it.
Me.
It's Marvel.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I think maybe that's just,
but that previous page could have been a single page within itself, but it's cool that they just expanded it to make it a double page spread. That's a great cheat.
Yeah. I mean, if that is what they're doing, that's
who knows?
A really good cheat,
in my opinion.
But this character is essentially some kind of ancient being that considers himself a god, or maybe they are a god. I don't know.
Right.
But he basically has this death throw for half the book where he just keeps like falling down and then getting back up and just talking about how badass he is and how they can't defeat him, even though he's plainly dying. Right. So like some of the scripting in this, I was like, all right, story wise, it's still fun. You know me, I'm more into for the art than anything. So the art did it for me, and I was happy about that. But like when I was actually reading it, I was kind of like, all right, you could sum this all up. You could sum it all up real quick, Frank. Just pull back just a little bit.
Keeps having strokes in the middle of it. He's like, oh.
God. MB Bonner says, I'm old. I like Zipatone. I don't mind Zipatone. I've never been a huge fan of it. I don't mind it for the classic aspect of what it's used. But this was just, I didn't have this problem with the first issue with the Zipatone. But like this issue, for some reason, it was just like really heavy to the point where I was like, this might have just looked better in some pages, just straight up black and white without the Zipatone.
Yeah.
Snake Dog saying this has lots of repeated lines. It does.
Oh, really?
It's weird. Like I'm not quite sure. Granted, I haven't read a lot of Frank's stuff in a while, so I don't know if this is just par for the course.
So awesome.
Yeah, let me pause that there for a second. But there are quite a bit of just repeated lines. They'll say something and then they'll say another variation in a question, or they'll be like, later on in the scene when there's a borderline, I don't even know what you want to call it. It's just a very kind of interesting scene at the end of this book that's like this bond torture, something assault.
No, you bring up a good point, and I would like to add to that. Sorry for Type 1 on Indiegogo right now. You're not going to get repetitive stuff like that in this issue of my book Type 1, and keep going.
Yes, absolutely. So we have Just Plan 9 says, go check out Joe Frankenstein by Nolan and Dixon. I believe that is really close to 50K. So yeah, everybody go check that out. Yeah, that's awesome. The epicness of this book, though, is so fun as an artist because it is just this straight freedom of drawing these big ass panels, these double page spreads, and just kind of just going wild. Even though some of the stuff I feel like maybe gets a little dragged out, and that could be the script. This book is just fun because of that. We got a $5 super chat from Jason. Says, back in the 90s, the art supply store was going out of business. Huge discounts. I bought $200 worth of Zipatone latest years. Lasted years. Jeez. Sorry. I'm trying to also find this.
$15, little man. Put that shit in my hand. If that money doesn't show, then you owe me, oh.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that very much, Jason. That I've never tried Zipatone, so I can't say one way or the other.
I wasn't allowed to use knives.
I was just gonna say, as a kid, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little, probably a little bit advanced for me to be cutting a bunch of stuff and putting Zipatone down. But I see some people that use it, and they use it very good, very well. I mean, even in this book, it's used well. There's just sometimes where I think it's just a little overboard. That's all. Like in this main shot here, you could have a little bit less Zipatone, making the character pop out a little bit more, in my opinion.
Who are you to tell Frank Miller what to do?
I know who the hell am I? That is just, it's an opinion. But otherwise, I mean, I love this book, love this series. Just epic shot after epic shot. Look at that. Look at. Are we interrupting you, Sean?
Yeah, my sister's texting me. Important shit.
Tell her I said hi.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
OEO. Yeah. Yeah, this is
You interrupted me. Yeah.
I don't read much manga, but if manga looked like this all the time, I might get into it more. I am a novice when it comes to the manga stuff. I will completely admit that. But story wise, visual wise, like I love this. Just this fact,
powerful.
I love the fact in this scene that you just have this baby essentially against this friggin' kaiju-esque monster, and just the power difference in the two characters, right?
You must feel like a bitch getting tossed around by this little kid.
I think that makes it even better story-wise, honestly, because again, if you read this character is just like straight up into himself. He's like, I am the god of gods. I have killed everyone. I'm the beginning. Just basically just sitting here with his own demise happening, just basically in denial. And this little kid with all this cosmic power is kicking its ass. It's awesome. Look at the art on that. Look at the rendering. Look at the textures.
Yeah. You know what he's doing? Like Dan Panosian, he did this ink line that I'm not a fan of back in the early 90s, but he's kind of doing that, but making it look good. No offense to Dan Panosian fans.
Making it look good,
don't at me. But no, this looks really good.
Yeah, like I said, the inker Enriquez, if that's how you pronounce his last name, I'm sorry if I butchered that.
Iglesias.
Yeah, it makes an incredible team with Tan. Some of these pencils that he was showing, the original pencils and the inks are like, he does some heavy lifting in certain parts, but he does it to the point where it looks like Tan. You know, like it's such a good combination. Like they trust each other, explicitly. The texture on some of the creature's body kind of reminds me a little bit of Danny Mickey in areas.
Yeah,
just with the texture work in that. Not a lot, but just a little bit.
No, yeah, from the gray.
Yeah, like
how it's a gritty line and how he's forming it and the whites in it. Yeah, the dry brush effect.
Yeah, this is absolute must. I'll say for the art. I'm interested, guys. If anyone has read this book out, what you actually think of the story? When Kayla comes back, I'll have her dive more into like what she actually thinks about the story. But art alone, I will buy this book and I will be extremely happy.
Hold on, my sister wants to say hi. If anybody has a problem with it, I don't care.
Okay, say hi.
Hey.
Fuck you.
Oh, geez, that was
not. Atomic Gates.
Did you hear that?
Hey, Chrissy, how's it going?
Cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Sorry. All right, let's get back to this.
I dig it. Jabro said, just read Berserk. Start there. I've heard a lot of people say that about Berserk.
I gotta watch the animation because
maybe check out the animation first and see if it's exciting enough to go check out the art. I'll check it out one of these days. I have to actually just go buy it and see what it's about.
Yeah.
There's some Joe Kubert in that texture as well, says Jasper Plan 9. See here, okay, this is what I'm talking about. Like, let me back this up here. This is what I'm talking about, just a little overkill on the Zipatone. I would have liked this scene to be a little bit lighter so you can actually see a little bit more of what's going on, because the picture kind of gets lost a little bit with the darkness of the Zipatone there, especially at the top of the sphere, in my opinion. So essentially what happened is they destroyed this monster, or they got consumed by the monster, and they all fall into the water, and they're in this kind of like shell thing.
Yeah, it kind of takes away from the art, because if you look at the whatever the fuck that is on the right side, like there, like that little, I don't know if it's brick clothing, whatever. That's cool.
It's boots. Yeah, it's boots. It's boots. I mean, there's a lot of really cool texture within the boot art.
Yeah.
That would be cool if you could actually see it instead of the Zipatone. It'd be awesome if they actually put out a straight black and white version of this at the same time. Like, 'cause I'd buy both versions.
Yeah.
If they put it out, like you get double the money out of me if you had a black and white version without the Zipatone and just the line work. Man, look at that.
That's cool.
That is just so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a fan of comics in general. Like, what I love about this is you get the sensibilities of Frank Miller, who's just he's crazy. Just his style, his writing, his mind.
My whiskey as the dame comes into the door, and I grab her by the back of the head, like whoosh.
And you just get the epic sense, and you get the stylistic approach by Philip Tan, and you just get this really awesome looking book that reminds me of stuff we loved in the 90s, right? Because you had the double page spreads all the time throughout this book. You know, just the money shot pages, just turn after turn. It's a fun read. Even though it's a lengthy read, because there's so much fucking dialogue. Just there we go. Like, just there's a bunch of repeated stuff right there. Like, grah, rats, you are rats, and worse than rats. You know, I'm just like, okay, that's a lot of needless script right there. But I get it.
Do you think he draws this tradition, like size wise on the boards, the 11x17s, or like the 1-ups, or what do you think?
I think Philip Tan does a traditional 11x17s
for this particular project. I mean, because this is such like a badass fucking.
I think
story.
I'd have to check out his Instagram when he posts teasers sometimes and see if I can tell from that. But like, I feel like this would be a traditional, unless you talk about just doing like a tilt the 11x17 sideways and
that as well. Yeah, because it looks very.
I know some artists do that. I think Rob Liefeld does that quite a bit.
Yeah,
because it is. I mean, it is a cheat. It's less space to draw a bigger.
Time is money.
Yeah, I can see that. But I don't know.
That's crazy. Fucking cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I keep interrupting you.
No, that's what we're here for, man.
That's a great idea. I'm gonna steal that.
Like I said, guys, this is the first time Sean has seen this book, so you get his real reaction in time to these scenes. It's funny because on Odd and Stuff, besides talking about the Turtles on Thursday, we're going to talk about our top 5 favorite 80s cartoons. Mm-hmm. And what was cool about the 80s cartoons is that there was a lot of like anime kind of intros, like a lot of the art studios or the anime studios were from
overseas,
Japan,
Korea,
right? Korea. Wherever they were. And this book just reminds me of that. Like, if you could see it, right? Yeah. Just come to life. You could see it come to life with the colors, but it looks great in black and white. By the way, Jay from Desolate Souls is saying, check your DMs, Sean.
I haven't been on Twitter in weeks, so I apologize.
Jasper said this
I'll get to that tonight. I promise.
Jasper, I'm telling you, if you haven't got this yet, go out and get it. This is only the second issue. The first issue, honestly, I don't know how many issues this is selling or how many my LCS is bringing in, but this is hard to find if you don't get it in the first couple days. It's gone. So that could just be my local LCS just bringing in a certain amount and they're selling out real fast. But this is a fun series, and if you're liking what you're seeing here, definitely go out and pick this book up. And then read it. Let me know what you think of the story, because I think sometimes the story gets a little wonky, but I'm so enamored with the art that
Frank Miller's a wonky writer.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, think of Batman Robin All-Star, or whatever that book was called. That was, absolutely.
Now, was this in comic, like the comics, or was this in a different area to buy like manga.
No, it was in the comics. It was in the. I think they put this in like the independent section where they have all the other independent companies that aren't the top three, because it goes Marvel, DC, Image, and then it basically goes Boom, Dynamite, Dark Horse down the line of all the different independent books, and that's where this one is.
Nice.
Yeah, again, this is another page I really like. Wish it would have just backed off on the Zipatone a little bit, because I think just things fade too much into the background, too much more than I would like into the background. But that,
you should tweet them and tell them that.
I'll let them know, man.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, Frank, let me edit your book artistically. And I'll do what's up. Just pay me, $100,000 a year. We'll call it even. We got Fallen Low Life in the house. Hail to you, brother. Thank you for being here. Snake Dog says the story is a little confusing if you don't know a little background on the last book. I agree. And I didn't really read the last book, so I'm right there. I am a little confused when I'm reading the story. I try to pretend like I just like, okay, yeah, it makes sense because something happened before, and okay, we're all good. Yeah. But yeah, there is some confusion. All-Star Batman and Robin was the best. Has some fantastic art. I don't know too much about like the story though. Like
he's the goddamn Batman. So
he's the goddamn Batman. Yeah, that's all I remember from that. and slapping Robin around a little bit, making him. Didn't he at one point like chain him up in the Bat Cave or lock him somewhere?
Made him eat rats or some shit.
Made him eat rats and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, Frank Miller, he's one of a kind, man. This page right here with the 12 panels, I believe it is.
Yeah.
He doesn't cheat any of these panels. Every single one of these panels is a different angle at the face. And this is one thing I would like to bring up that's different than like the AI stuff you would see where it's just a bunch of face panels of people talking to each other. Those are just very static poses. Mm-hmm. Philip Tan goes out of his way to draw every angle of the face that you can think of between the two different characters. So they don't all, I don't think there's a similar face amongst them in this. It's just really well done. It stood out to me when I was looking at this page, because what a boring page to draw. I'm sorry, just a bunch of face shots.
Yeah,
100% boring, especially after everything that he's drawing up to this point.
Bendis book.
Well, this is very much Frank Miller, right? The 12 panel, this is very much his style, so it makes sense. But he just knocked it out of the park, is my point. Like, he just did a great job of all the faces on these pages, and then just boom right back into just the a lot more face panels. But and again, this is kind of just where
this is really inspiring, like really wonky inspiring. It's like, oh, I can tell a story like that instead of this is the correct way.
Yeah, story wise, imaginative wise, it's just great. I love the visuals. I love where the story is coming from. Script wise, I have a little bit of issue specifically with this issue. I didn't have it with the first issue 1 that I read. I didn't have this issue with the script. Like, I was like, okay, but this one is just kind of, it repeats a lot. It drags on. Like, literally this character, I can't remember his name, but he spends half the book dying and just talking about how badass he is before he finally dies. And then the rest of the book is, the mom and son just kind of going back and forth about their situation, and then talking about trying to find him, which I'm assuming is the original Ronin. Maybe Snake Dog, anybody that's actually read the first book could, Jasper, anybody could let me know if who's in this last few pages is the original Ronin. But we're about to get into some funky scenes here, guys. Like,
so wait, is he like the old man at the bar in the corner? He's like, back in my day.
No.
Sipping on his fucking cheap ass whiskey.
Who, Frank Miller?
No,
or the Ronin.
Well,
Frank Miller, I think definitely is.
Well, no, this monster that's taking forever to die.
It's
like, I'm dead.
It's the funniest boastful stuff that, like an arrogant monster who thinks he's unbeatable and just like all this stuff is just the real. I get what Frank Miller is doing with the realization of him dying and just trying to cope with that and just almost like denying the fact, right? Even though it's happening. But the script was just way drug on, and he was just, I don't know. I just found it kind of like monotonous a little bit.
Is this a metaphor for the comics industry?
Ooh. Oh. Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some more good shit to say, but I don't think I should say it.
Snake Dog says, I'm still trying to understand what the setting of the book is, though. I think they made it to America. Yeah, I think this is America. I think I read something like a synopsis that this is America. If I remember correctly. Yeah, they were trying to find the original Ronin. He's the dude you see in the last page. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. And so the last few pages here. Okay, here we go. So we jump in now. Somehow this kid who has these supernatural powers can feel his dad. You know, can sense where his dad is, where he disappeared to, what's happening to him. And I guess he's fighting this creature, this female creature or whatever. And you're going to go into a scene here which it gets strangely erotic in torture pornish, in my opinion, going forward. If you just not so much in the art, I mean the art a little bit, but just the script. If you catch a little bit of the script, guys, it's crazy, but the art's fantastic. The detail on these mechanical tentacles, I love it. Very organic. The main woman you see here is his love interest from the last book, with I guess what you would call their son. Okay, that's what I kind of gathered, but I wasn't quite sure because I didn't read the last book. So I guess that's what it is, and maybe the story is about them reuniting or trying to find the original Ronin. But he gets in this situation, wherever he's at, where this creature is about to do some bad things to him in a very very sexual manner, in my opinion. And this is kind of the format of the book going forward. You get a nice big splash action page of Ronin, and then you get just this dialogue conversation back and forth between the mom and the son. And it's basically he's I just thought of a part coming up that was actually pretty funny. He's just talking about his I can feel my dad, he's in pain, and she's just like right here, she's killing him, and he's all like, he can't die, don't worry, and then he's like, she's ripping him apart, but he can't die, don't worry. And at some point it's just like, I can't hear daddy's heart anymore, maybe he's dead. It's just like, all right, this whole time you're talking about this dude can't die. And he just, I don't know, I thought the dialogue made it was funny how they did it.
It's a horrible editor.
Yeah, well, Miller's editing himself, right? So so nobody's telling him anything about it. This could use a different view. This is a badass fucking page. Let me just pause that here. So this is kind of what he's talking about, where like this creature is just mutilating Ronin, just like ripping him to shreds in this scene. And it's really brutal when you read the dialogue and you see what's happening to him. He's just getting absolutely torn apart. But man, again, a little too much zipatone, in my opinion, here on this page, but what a fantastic page. Like, I looked at this for a while. It's like, this was awesome. Like, I loved everything about this page.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Jabro said that's a very 90s knee. Oh, on the other page? Yeah. A lot of these are, I don't think every single thing is Frank Miller's layouts, but you can tell, I think, when there's a specific Frank Miller layout that Tan will go off of. And maybe Miller lays out the entire thing. I don't know. But there's some times where it's just straight up like, yeah, that's Frank Miller. And there's other times where it feels a little bit more like the mind of Philip Tan.
Great textures.
Yeah. Again, like I said, the black and white art, man, it just a little bit less zibitone. Let me just see the black and white line work, because I want to see how you work out of the shadows with all the line work. Some of it gets covered up. You can tell it gets a little bit too covered up with the zibitone, where there's some really nice rendering going on there that I would like to see. But all in all, like that's my own, like those are little complaints about this book. Regardless, like I still hold this in very high respect for it being on the shelves today. To me, there's nothing really like this book right now on the shelves that makes me excited about comic book art besides Mark Silvestri's Batman.
Yeah, there's so many great cheats in here you could use for storytelling. I'm not saying cheats to cheat, but like ideas and problem solving and thinking out of the box and all that.
Yeah. It really, I like, you said earlier about inspiration, right? Like this is a book to absolutely grab up if you're an artist, just to get inspired of anything that you could do, like with panel layout or just action scenes, story ideas. It's a fun book to get into. Snake Dog said, yeah, the Ronin pages are really fucking good. They are, man. Like,
oh, Jasper just brought up a good point about the Magnolia. I saw that as well in the
good point. Good point.
In the previous page, but not as static or stiff. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah, good eye, Jasper. That's a good point. I didn't even catch it, but now you mentioned it, I could definitely see that. You know. So here we are towards this. This will be right before it gets really oddly sexual.
Nice.
So she basically rips him completely apart down to his severed head here. And now she's going to kind of like sexually assault the rest of his head. It's weird.
Don't threaten me.
It's more so in the script. That top panels are straight up. That is straight up Miller layouts. Because you can just see the wonky proportions more so than what I think Philip Tan would draw. Like, I think that's straight up just homage to Frank Miller, straight up layouts. This whole page probably is very, very Miller-like. Animal T, Hale, welcome to the show. Said, I might get this. Definitely should. I highly recommend this, guys. And I don't push a lot of the mainstream books. Basically 3, right? The Batman, the Joker, the Deadly Duo, Ronin book 2, and then Gunslinger Spawn or whatever Brett Booth might be doing. Like, that's the only thing I'm really pushing right now. Maybe Creech when it comes out, as long as it doesn't fall on its face like Batman Spawn did, I will be all about that as well. But right now it's very few, and this is definitely a recommend must get. Josh said Miller's body of work is a masterclass in cheat and storytelling.
Correct.
Absolutely. Jaro saying he's got to get this. Definitely do, guys. And again, this and the Deadly Duo are the only 2 books that we are going to do an art review of after the week after it comes out. So I highly recommend you guys go out and buy these books so that we can jump in the chat and have, we can have conversations about the story, because I'm going to be more into the art mostly. So, but I'm really interested on what you guys think of the story for both books. And we're going to be doing that with this book and Batman and the Joker, the Deadly Duo. So go out and buy these books and jump in the chat.
Yeah, and, spend your money when you can just watch the videos here like me.
Or you could do that. Jasper says, I never push Frank Miller. I don't. I'm not a huge fan of Frank Miller. But I've been honest about that. Like, I like older Frank Miller stuff. I like his Marvel stuff, the Daredevil stuff. The Wolverine miniseries they did was great. I like Sin City. And as much as I respect things like The Dark Knight Returns and 300 and Ronin and stuff like that, it's just his art style changed so much to me in the late 80s and 90s that it wasn't appealing to me, and still really isn't appealing to me. That's the only reason why I don't cover a lot of Frank Miller stuff. So here she basically is taking over Ronin almost in a sexual manner. If you just you read some of this stuff, especially some of the next pages where she's like, I don't even want to go into it, but just check it out. It's odd. Like, I'm reading this book. I'm like, am I watching a rape right now? Is that what's going on? Like this severed head, this alien, like, is this, a little bit too close to manga? To some, what's it called? Not manga. Hentai? Is that what's going on? Read it, guys. Read it, and you'll see. Like she's saying, fantasy desires, blah, blah, blah. There's one part where she's like, I want you inside of me. I'm just like, damn, Frank. Damn. Going all out. Yeah. He doesn't have anybody telling him he can't write that or say that. Like, he's hats off to him. And like, go for it. You go as dark as you want to go. But I just thought it was I got a chuckle. I chuckled out of it. Reminds me of Wildcats X-Men Dark Ages a bit too. Was that the one that
by Jay?
Oh, okay.
By Jay Lee. Oh, wait, no, I apologize.
Was it
Wildcats Trilogy was the one by Jay Lee.
Yeah, the X-Men Wildcats X-Men Dark Ages, was that Travis Stray?
No, I think that was the fourth one.
Which one did he do?
He did one of the most beautiful comic books ever created.
He did it, yeah, but I can't remember which one it was.
The first one, Golden, maybe.
I've only read it once. I need to find
really?
it. Yeah, like
Oh
it,
my
I don't know
god,
why I
it's
don't have it in my
so
collection.
beautiful.
I read it once, and then Jim Lee's version I read once. For some reason, I never bought them. Must have been like
Dude.
right in the period where I was like getting in and out of comics. One of the few
Sure,
times
sure.
in my life I did, so I probably missed it. But
That's a top 10 most beautiful, well done illustrated comic.
yeah,
My
Kayla talks
opinion.
about that book too. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, really?
she talks about those books as well. I mean, she
Okay.
absolutely loves those books. So like,
The first two.
I gotta find it, and
The
we'll
Jim
go
Lee
over
one is good as well. He does some really interesting textures with his rendering that just kind of evolved from his Wildstorm shit. And this is right before Heroes Were Born, right before, but it was really well done. Yeah.
He was the golden age. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. That was
Okay. So what Jim Lee did the modern age, I think. I can't remember.
he did whatever the 70s was.
Okay.
So it was like the original team.
Oh, all right. It's been so long. Yeah, I need to find. I'll have to look them up on. I'll have to find those somewhere. Maybe
Brett did a few
eBay.
pages in the fourth one, I believe.
This is some of the dialogue here I was talking about, where it kind of goes off the rails, and it's just a very interesting scene. Art is fantastic, though. Absolutely love what's being depicted
And she was
here.
about to say, "I feel like we're about to be one." I'm like, "Yo, did you take some of my ex's texts?" That's the corny I did. It's like, what do you mean we're one?
Yeah, it's really worth the read. Definitely go buy this issue, guys, and let me know what you think about it, or just watch this, I guess, until they strike me down for copyright stuff. I try to wait long enough to the point where we're not jumping into it, but I haven't got any complaints yet from anybody. No strikes, no nothing, so we're good so far.
Nice.
It's got a couple cool original pinups here that Philip did when he was kind of testing out the character designs and just feel the book. I thought that was kind of cool. Charest is about to do an issue for Mark Millar's covers. Mark Millar's covers look sick. Nice.
I'm not a fan of his digital work. It's just too stiff. But
I actually haven't seen it.
That's my opinion.
Huh. I'll have to check it out. I've not kept up on him to see what he's doing. I'll be honest with that. The style of the dialogue is why I fell in love with Sin City and why lunatics want Miller canceled from cons, says Jasper. Yeah. I don't mind the dialogue at all. I mind some of the stuff is drawn on and repeated too much, where you could just condense that, say the same thing, and not lose any of the way characters speak, I guess. I loved Sin City. I don't own many issues of that, but I liked it for what it was. Artistically wise, it's probably the only time Frank Miller went to his kind of wonky style. And I say wonky, that's just me saying it. Don't get offended out there, Miller fans. But just like his more artistic style, or whatever you want to call it, that he did after
non-conformative.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great way to say it. Yeah. That he kind of adopted after his main house style of Marvel. After that, Sin City was the one that I liked the most. Everything else is just kind of like, didn't really get me.
Everybody that tries to be like a Frank Miller inspired writer just seems like a fucking hack. Nobody pulls it off the way Frank does. And it is hokey writing, don't get me wrong, scripting wise, but it fucking works. And everybody else that tries to dive into that pool, it just seems like their fucking laptop should be investigated by the feds.
Here's the cover preview of issue 3 coming out, which is a fantastic cover. That chick is jacked, dude. I'll tell you that. Absolutely jacked. I'm hoping this chick. Please be a chick. The wings are great. You never know. I'm assuming you never know. You never know. Even with Frank Miller, you never know. You know.
So
but she is jacked. But the cover just looks awesome. I love the detail in the wings. The lighting in the wings is great. Yeah, this is a badass cover. I haven't bought any of the Frank Miller covers. I'm sorry, guys, I haven't. I bought only the Philip Tan covers. It's how I roll. It's how I roll. Astro Zombie says, love that issue 3 cover. It's bad. Like, that's what I love about these books. And wait, Okay, no, the Deadly Duo doesn't do that. But I love when a book has the cover in black and white, just the line art for the next issue in the back of the book, because it's just like it's almost like the preview at the end of a TV series, right? Of an episode, and you get to see what's coming next week, and it gets you, or next month in this case, and it gets you excited for it, gets you jacked up. Now, I like that aspect. If I have the ability to draw the cover for Reaper Destroyer 2, I will put it in the back of the first issue so that you guys know the tone of the book that's coming. Yeah, and that's it. That is Frank Miller's Ronin Book 2, Issue 2, written, edited, and laid out by Frank Miller with art, beautiful art by Philip Tan and Enriquez.
Iglesias.
All right, I'm gonna look.
I can be your hero.
Actually, I got the video right here. Let's play this from the beginning. Look, what is his name? I want to say it correct. I'm feeling bad. I keep butchering his name.
Take my breath away.
Daniel Enriquez. I think I'm right in that, right? Enriquez. Daniel Enriquez.
What do I know?
It says art by Philip Tan and Daniel Enriquez. Enriquez does the inking. But I did say, like I said, if you missed the beginning of the show, I did say I noticed that if you go to Daniel Enriquez's Facebook page, he has some samples of the original art and then his finished inks. And it does look like there are times where Philip Tan is turning in at least very loose art, and it's being finished by Daniel. So I think that might be why he's getting a art credit and not an inking credit on this book. I could be wrong. Animal T says I might get Ronin 1 and 2 and his 300. Any thoughts? I say go for it. I mean, those are just because I'm not a huge fan of Frank Miller's art doesn't mean that these aren't phenomenal pieces of work. You know, like they're usually universally loved, all those books. So I would say absolutely go for it and check out those books. They should be in your collection. Yeah,
you don't need our approval. Get what you like.
Yeah, you do. You do what you do.
You do what you do, boo.
You do what you do.
Yes.
I can be your hero, baby. Wait, is that how it goes? I don't even know how
You can take my breath away.
What's the price on the book? Good call. Let me look it up real quick. My hip.
My back.
All right. It's an $8 book, so it is expensive. But it's fairly beefy. That's what she said.
And look, you may be spending a lot of money per comic book, but think about this: Marvel and DC are charging what, $4 or $5 a book of trash art in that story.
Yeah,
you know, invest in this,
and it's good quality. Like the book itself, the cover it's a nice thick cardstock, glossy cardstock, and the paper on the inside it's a matte paper, but it's not flimsy at all. It's pretty thick, you know, nice. So it's a solid book. You know, you're getting good quality with it. It's not cheap at all. Not like some of the shit that Marvel has put out. Like, have you seen some of the books Marvel's put out lately?
Nope.
Even DC, like some of the books you pick up and it's like they don't weigh a thing. It feels like it would disintegrate touching it. Like it's the paper is that shitty.
Oh, Image had some badass paper about a decade ago. The blacks were coming off of my fingers, like the ink.
Oh,
horrible.
Yeah, well, that's no good either. But this is good quality. I don't know how many pages it is. It seems like it's a lot, probably because of all the splash pages. But it's worth it. It is well worth it. I mean, support this and support the Deadly Duo. I think it's money well placed. I don't think you're going to be disappointed whatsoever. It's a 40-page and good. Okay, well there you go. 40 pages, 40-page book. There you go. I knew it was pretty long. Pretty long. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Great quality, and you get a lot for your $8. It's well worth paying for that than something coming out of DC or Marvel right now. Jasper said it feels like an $8 book. There you go. DC and Marvel are shit, says Jay. I agree. All right, let me pull this down here for a second. What do you guys want to do first? You want to see the Jim Lee advice for artists, or you want to see some art updates on Reaper Destroyer? Let me know in the chat, and that's what we will do.
Give Jim Lee's advice. I'm going to go make coffee and have a cigarette. I want to see your update.
You don't want to watch Jim Lee's advice?
I could give two shits.
We're here to comment on it.
Come on. Do what you gotta do. I'll be right back.
All right, let me pull this up. This was advice that I found Jim Lee gave. I thought it was pretty good advice for artists. So,
it is repetition which makes for
way loud.
What would you advise me to?
This is if you're an artist, whether you are, yes, F Jim Lee. I get the point. I get it. This is interesting. Good advice for artists all around. I would say whether it's from Jim Lee or not, take the source away. But I believe that this is good advice for an artist.
The art of my favorite artists.
And I was hoping actually Sean was going to be into this because I wanted to have a conversation as artists talking about it. But apparently Sean decided he did not want to be a part of it last minute.
Instincts as kind of
cool.
Naked as that feels.
Christopher says Reaper Destroyer. We'll jump on that. Next. I got some art I want to show you guys.
Blanket underneath you.
Listen to him talk here for a second.
Be the solution, which is to draw a lot, and to not look at everything. It's as simple as what you just kind of said. It's like, well, I keep looking at this reference, and I want to develop my own style. How do I do that? Well, I would put away those.
Yeah, true, Jasper. But I mean,
over.
I think it's a little bit
influencing your work, and
that might be a little bit different situation. But I definitely get you.
Your heart, kind of, what you feel feels right at that given moment. Avoid the temptation of picking up your favorite bit of reference or art to copy something.
This is important right here.
Solve an issue that you're having. If you have a problem, figure it out yourself. It may not look great, but at least it's coming from your hand, right?
I like that. That's a great point right there for artists, and we all get into that point in time where you're stumped on something. You're trying to work on a panel. It's not coming out right. This happens to me all the time when I'm working on Reaper Destroyer. Like I've got something in my head. It's not coming out right on the paper. And the first thing you kind of want to do is like, all right, I have a concept in my mind and I know I can jump into my comic books all around and find good references for that and see how my favorite artist did it. So it can help me, reference what I'm trying to do. Sometimes that becomes a crutch. Sometimes it's good. Like it's not a bad thing to check out stuff to get inspired. You should always have stuff around you. That's why we do the show, is to get inspired. You as artists, as creators, you look at the works of some of these guys that they're doing. It's just incredible. It gets you inspired to do your best work. But when you do get stumped, sometimes it is good to just maybe take a step away from the table for a second, clear your mind, clear your eyes, come back with fresh eyes, and then start over again instead of just instantly jumping into the closest comic book and saying like, there's a pose that's close to what I'm doing. I'm just going to use that for reference because it's easy. I can grab it. I can, look at it, reference it, boom, I can move on. And then there you go. Like sometimes it is better just to try to work it out.
And the more you do that, you'll get better as an artist, I think, or your ability to master things.
Yeah, I'll do that sometimes. I did like that series.
To get into the habit of doing drawing, I would say drawing. I am a man of very simple thoughts, and the more you draw, the better you get at it. There's really no other. I wish it were like the more you eat pizza, the better you get at drawing. The more you play video games, the better you get at drawing. The more you look at trees, you get better at drawing trees. Actually, that is a little true. So, but the return on that is probably like 100 hours gets you 0.1% increase in ability in drawing.
Everything you said there is 100% true. The only way to get better at drawing is to draw all the time. And the times that I saw the greatest improvement in my art was when I was drawing on a regular basis. Because there have been times in my life where I've gone, days without drawing, sometimes a week without drawing. You go a weekend. I usually always go a weekend without drawing right now because I try to put most of my drawing time during the day and then weekends for family. It is what it is. But I notice an improvement in my drawing when you're drawing all the time. Your imagination is constantly clicking. You'll still have those times where you have like a artist block or whatever you want to call it, and you just have to work through it. Like, unless you're a 30-year veteran where it's just so natural to you, like these guys are, there's going to be struggles when it comes to your craft. But just continue to always
Right,
draw, and
absolutely.
you will get better. You will see the improvement, just like
That
working out.
percentage increases as you draw more. So you look at a tree, draw a tree, look at a tree, draw a tree, do that hours at a time. Then the ability to draw trees increases geometrically every time you look at a tree and as you draw more. Because if you don't draw at all and you look at a tree, I don't know if you will actually get better just by looking until
That's
you
a great
start
point,
drawing
too.
that tree. And you start, and the reason why is because it's like you haven't committed that tree to memory yet. So the more you look
This
at
is a
it
great
when you
point.
draw, you have to actively recall what you just saw, and then you start thinking about trees, and maybe some of that information sticks. So the next time you look at a tree, you are reaffirming, confirming what you thought about, and you might even see that, oh yeah, what I thought was true, and you'll store that extra little bit of information, and you'll just start, remembering more and more.
That is crazy important for as an artist. So you're drawing all the time now, so you're getting the muscle memory thing happening, which is great. But you're also getting a ton of things committed to your memory. Besides the study you do in the pages of the comic books that you read, like if you're like me, I can do a lot of mental reps just by looking at pages or drawing in my head. It works for me, and sometimes that helps when I'm actually drawing. But the more I actually draw something, buildings or trees or faces or whatever, you start to get better at doing that, because the muscle memory is there. The imagination is in your head, and you're pulling the stuff out. It's coming down onto the paper, out of your head into the paper, easier now than it did in the past. We got Deerman in the
Any
house. Hell,
tips for
Deerman, good to see you.
beginners? Yes. Draw. That's right. Draw. See what happens when you sit down and draw.
That's pretty much what he was saying
It's like exercise.
in the video before. But
Any tips on how to get swole is what I hear kids say. Getting jacked, pumped.
I find it really weird when he tries to do like
not like
new
this.
kid language.
Yeah, you have to go hit the gym. You
well, he
have to
does have
sweat, you
like
to
8
lift
kids.
weight, and it's gonna
He's
be
probably
painful.
just all
It's not gonna feel
teenagers
good,
speak around
and
the
you're gonna
house.
give up. That's usually what I do. But if you stick with it enough, you will start seeing gains, as the kids say. You will start seeing your physique and your body change.
Oh,
And that improvement
just took a weird
will build
turn.
on itself, and you will get stronger.
hey, old Paul, good to see you. So this is an
that
awesome
for
stream. Well, thank you,
several
sir.
months, you
Appreciate you.
Really get into shape. But not everyone is in shape. Just
Don't
look at
judge me.
humanity, because it's not easy.
Ja Rose said it's the old
not easy
adage, practice
drawing
makes perfect.
all the
Yeah. There's really no way around it. It's funny though that
So you need
so many people think that there is
find that
that there's a
inspiration.
cheat
The
or a way
question
to
then
get
is
better
like,
faster.
how do you get
When it's really
inspired
the only way to get better is to
do this
just
for a living?
to draw.
I think you just
Just
have
do
to.
it.
And there are tons of examples, even in Comicsgate. If you see guys like Chauncey or Elliot, they are constantly drawing. They're constantly putting new art up, new videos of them doing it, and you're seeing the improvements as they do it from last year to this year. It's
It's on
it's
you.
inevitable.
That's why I said don't
It is
thank
absolutely
me.
inevitable.
Thank
And it's
yourself.
inspiring because you
Because
want to up your game.
If you don't want to put the work in to become a better artist, which means actually sitting down and drawing on a regular basis all the time, then you might not really be cut out or really want to be an actual penciler. Like it's the difference between those that want to work for a living, to do this for a living, and those that just enjoy it to draw. There's a difference in passion there. Just because you might be good at drawing doesn't necessarily mean that you're cut out to sit down and draw something like this or a
you will have
sequential
done something
page.
that most people cannot do or have not done.
Jasper says Jim is a
It's the only
simple
one I
and
just
weak
did there. It
man.
was like
Wow,
flat
that's
white, black, flat white, black.
I like it.
And I put these two kind of dark
Interesting.
shadows right here.
I wonder what all the hate is for Jim Lee. What do you think that is?
I think he's gotten boring. I think he doesn't really care. He's a suit. It's sad to say that we live in a generation where Jim Lee's not inspiring anymore. Because I would pick up anything he did like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Stupid cover, backup, whatever. Now it's just like, all right, it's you seen that Batman pose, like thousands of times. And it's just
I mean,
he's just
we've
doing
all
Batman.
we've all talked about how he seems like he's lost the passion or he's just kind of stuck in whatever he's doing. He can still draw incredible when he wants to.
Oh, he could
It's the point that
tumbleweed over all of us. Don't get me wrong. It's just
I wonder what the just the hate for the dude and the man, the person he is, where that comes from in general. Got Jolly Green in the house. Hail. It's the same thing for like Rob Liefeld. Nobody's perfect. None of these guys are perfect, but it's just interesting like how some of these guys just get
hair.
And I'm wondering
unless
what
it's
the point
completely flat
is.
in a plane.
He's kind of a weasel.
But because it undulates, not unlike water, think about the hair as waves. So
Jasper's saying it's because he is DC's single point of leadership. See, I don't think that's true. I think he's just a yes man taking a paycheck.
Oh yeah.
And he's the front man for other people that are behind the scenes doing stuff. That's just my personal opinion. But again, I separate art from people all the time. And just because I might not like somebody, if someone's giving sound advice, which all this is sound advice from a professional artist that's been working in the industry for 30 plus years, it still is something that can be listened to. Like I can take my hate and my disgust for Eric Larson out when I look at old Eric Larson stuff and just still be like, yeah, it's badass, So it's interesting. It's interesting with public figures.
Right. So
if I were stuck with the hacks at DC, I'd lose passion too. Says Fiend Machine. So good point. That like I said, that paycheck is the thing that's keeping them going.
So if you have water,
I don't necessarily know if that's true though. I don't think Jim is the leader of DC. Like maybe he has a title. Yeah, he's got a public image. He's got the title, but I guarantee you, he's not the one going into the office saying we should do this with all the characters. Let's do this. Someone is dictating to him what to do, and he's just doing it. Yeah. Again, the whole line that you said earlier, Jasper, about being weak and stuff, that could be absolutely true. He's his passion is for the money. I guarantee it, and for setting himself up for life.
I don't blame him for that.
I was just going to say, it is what it is. Like that, that doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me.
Express water.
But a lot of this BS is happening.
I'm just disappointed because he's like one of the dudes why I like doing what I do. It's just like, like when I get inspired, I look at his old shit. And it's just
100%.
Look at his new stuff. You're like these sketches he's been doing, beautiful shit.
Mindset.
How's it going? But I don't know, like, because I don't know the last sequential thing he did. I think the last thing I looked at was Immortal Men.
Yeah.
But, that was just
G-Man said, if not the leader, then a silent accomplice. Yeah, I'd definitely say that more than a silent accomplice. I would guarantee you if things were different, if they're going in a different direction, and someone said, we want to do all masculine comics, he would be fine with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he is the one pushing any of this stuff. I think he's just going along with everything, in my opinion. And it's, it's his job. Regardless if we respect it or not, he's not the one pulling the strings at DC to say, let's make Tim Drake buy or whatever. Like, I don't think that that's the case. You got higher ups doing that, and he's just going along with it. My goal is one day Malin won't think my art is shit. Well, that's always a good goal. Good luck, though. Malin is a hard person to please.
Hey, John, have you ever heard of this artist named Michelangelo?
Yeah, he sucks.
He sucks. Why is he painting on ceilings? The canvas is right there.
Why is he painting those dicks so small?
Why are you going out of your way to climb walls?
I love it. Noah, what up, brother? Those are some amateur waves right there. I could do better.
Facts.
Those are some pretty bad waves, yeah. I think he's given in we got away from the advice thing. Yeah, I think he's doing something about shadows there. But what I wanted you to get to, the main thing was the stuff in the beginning of just how to become a better artist. And that's just practice. Draw. Don't ever stop. And you will see leaps and gains. He can make a lot of money building his legacy. Jim Lee is a disappointment because he was held in such high regard when he was younger. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm asking why he's hated. Like, I can be disappointed I can be upset at the decisions he's made, especially with the Wildstorm characters. I can be disappointed in the fact that his art doesn't look the way it used to, and it looks, passionless and lazy. But I don't have any hate for the guy.
I think
his
people
name
are,
doesn't come up, and I'm just like, fuck that dude. Like,
no, I think people are
that's where
getting
I'm
that
wondering.
confused. They're getting, like what you just said, they're confusing that for hate. They just might not know another word to put in that spectrum.
That could be, and that's why I'm wondering. I'm just wondering from people in the chat, what do you think about that? Because there's only a few people I actually hate in the comic industry when it comes to people I care about.
Mhm.
Jim Lee is still one of the goats for me. Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%. We got Phil in the house. Hail, Phil. Good to see you, brother.
Lobo.
And we go check out Lost Pages 3. Absolutely kicking ass.
Mm-hmm.
I saw on his channel, on his stream earlier today, Shelby had sent him the original art for that. I think it's the back cover, the Crimstone. It's the Lobo homage, I believe.
Nice.
Have you seen that with Crimstone smoking that cigar? Badass. It looked awesome. But he was unveiling that. Yeah.
Because I have to get on Twitter so Jay doesn't keep yelling at me.
You do, man. You got to get. I told Jay, I was like, dude, he's not on Twitter that much. But you got to do it. Check your DMs like once a week. How about that? Just once a week.
I'll do my best.
Are you allowed to hate people who disappoint you? I mean, you can hate anybody.
I guess. Yeah, it's your life, don't
I was like, yeah, you can.
When Stefani says it's your life.
Yeah. By the way, welcome, Lieutenant Hughes, member of the channel. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, you can have the opinions and hate whoever you want, whether it's disappointment or not. Except
for us.
Except for us. You can't hate us. No. Yeah, that's forbidden. I just wonder. I wonder because certain names, obviously you mentioned Rob Liefeld, gets a lot of hate and vitriol for whatever reason. Jim Lee is starting to get that as well. And I wonder why. I'm just asking what your opinions are, chat.
Because society likes to see people fall.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Lee is the unfortunate face of what is now DC Comics. And I will agree with that. And again, like there's a level of, to me, disappointment, and then straight up when someone shows their face, it's just like hate. Like there's just I guess I don't get the latter, in my opinion.
You got the step stool.
I get the step stool. All about the step stool. All right, let me bring up some art here, guys. I got some brand new stuff I want to show you. Some stuff I've shared on Twitter, and then some stuff that you're going to see for the first time before I make an update to the actual campaign. Hold on a second. Every time I have them set in a certain area on my desktop, there's too much junk on my desktop. Everything fades into itself. This is something that only the members on my channel get to see, and since we're doing a live show, I don't mind bringing it up because there's nothing I'm posting on social media. But if you are a member of my channel, you get to see a lot of these behind the scenes, high res shots. Sontag, where you at? No, Sontag never loved DC. Are you saying that I never loved DC? Or are you saying to me that you never loved DC?
Like Washington, D.C.? Like,
I mean, yeah, that's
Joe,
true.
Like,
any type 1 art to see, guys. Anything new?
Should be getting pages in colored sometime this week. I gotta call Dan back tonight, but hopefully, maybe by next week I can show some shit off, some colored pages. But yeah, soon. Working on it.
I was never a huge fan of DC. No, there are certain things I like about DC, certain artists, but never like a huge fan compared to Image and Marvel back in the day. This is a piece I just finished the other day. One of the double page spreads in the book, and I was extremely happy with it. I thought it turned out great. I guess I feel pretty confident that this is going to be inked by a certain person, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it and hope that it doesn't bite me in the ass later.
Put it out in the universe.
But Sal Regla is going to be the one inking this page, and hopefully a few other pages in the book as well, bringing him onto the project. He's a very busy guy, got a lot of stuff going on, but I absolutely love his style of art, or his style of inks, and I'm excited to have him come on and do the project with me. But this is the high res scan of the double page spread that I just got done with the other day, and I want to show you guys as an exclusive because that is not going up anywhere on social media, only the people that are live have seen this, or people that are members of the chat have seen this as well.
Or if you slip into my DMs,
Oh shit!
I can sell you NFTs of this shit. You can get it before anybody else.
NFTs, that's right. Slide up. Slide up into Sean's DMs. He will check them once a week.
Every 6 months. I know. I'm the worst.
And then he'll get back to you. He says, Jaro says, yes, Sal, fuck the world. I'm extremely excited to work with Sal. And again, I've worked with some very talented guys on this project, and I continue to be blessed with the people that are willing to lend some time, because my main guys, Weems and Bat, have basically, they got a ton of work on their plate. And it's one of those things where I understand I am not the biggest name, so sometimes they got other stuff lined up that's more important. So I've reached out to other people to help out with the book in this slow time, and Sal's one of the guys that's jumping on and is going to do some inking here, and I can't wait for him to do it. I've also got a guy named Matthew Seaborn who's doing a fantastic job as well, and there's going to be some other, hopefully, surprises. I'm not going to say the other name, but there should be another surprise I'll drop. That's another big name I've always wanted to work with in the industry. A guy that you all will know who he is when I say it.
I hope so.
But again, I don't want to say it until that's 100% committed to, because once I do, and then they're like, oh, I can't do it, then I have to come to you guys and be like, sorry, I lied. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it. Astro said, page looks rad. Sal inking is awesome. Yeah, I've really grown to like Sal, especially after having him on the show and getting to know him, just talking to him behind the scenes. He's just really awesome dude, just talented guy. And having him on the book means a lot to me. Nice background. Thank you, Jasper. Appreciate you. We got Metal Movies and Brewskis in the house. Hail, brother. Good to see you. It's been a second. I hope you're doing well.
Fuck yeah.
Chris said, looks awesome. Can't wait. Is the release still July? My goal is to send this thing to print in July. I'm hoping to get it out maybe by August, depending on how long it takes to print. Now, one of the reasons why I am full transparency here, one of the reasons why I'm trying to reach out to other inkers to come on and help the project is I'm getting far along on the penciling in this book. I haven't done an official count here, but I think the book will probably be closer to about 42 pages now.
Nice.
Than the 32 that I advertised. So I added 10 pages to it with just expanding scenes and adding some scenes and whatnot. So I'm getting pretty close. I want to say I'm within maybe 10 to 15 pages, depending on where I go with certain stuff. So I'm right on schedule for my drawing to get stuff done in time. Now I just need to make sure that everybody I've hired on the project can get their parts done in time as well. So it's one of the reasons why I'm bringing in some other inkers to help out here or there to speed up the process. And then it's all got to be colored by Kyle. So I'm hoping that all the pieces can come together and we can send this thing to print in July. At the very least, I will have my part of the art done, if everything works well on the schedule, in June. So the penciling should be done in June, set and ready to go. The book will be done as far as that goes, and it's just into the rest of the production. So that's how we're looking right now. And hopefully I can keep on this tear, because I'm producing some of my best work right now. I'm very excited about it. Things are flowing very well, and it's coming together. I was looking through all the pages the other day for the first time, just kind of flipping through what I've gotten done, and just to see how it's kind of coming together as a book. And I was just like, holy shit, like I got a lot more done than I thought. And I'm just flipping through the pages, and it's like, wow, this thing is actually coming together like a fucking book, like a fucking story. Like, it's awesome. So this is going to be, stick with me. This is going to be really cool. I hope this is well worth you guys' money. And we still have to drop the supplemental book, which is going to have a couple backup stories, brand new stories with some fantastic artists as well in it. So I'm looking forward to some awesome things to drop on this campaign as we continue to go. MB Bonner said, beautiful. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Dennis Kelly says, looks great. Thank you. This is looking sick, man. You've put lots of love into it. And I appreciate that. And I hope that that's what can be gathered out of this project, is that all my passion, all my love is going into this. This is something I've been working on essentially for 17 years now, right, Sean? And I'm finally being able to get it out there and show everybody the story, what the story is. And hopefully I'll get the feedback and we'll move forward and keep on going. But there will also always be this level of passion into this book. Opinion Nerd said, looks like you guys are picking up where Top Cow left off. That's what's up. Hell yeah. You know, Top Cow, I make no bones about it. Silvestri is one of my favorite artists. Top Cow is one of my favorite art studios, companies in the business growing up. I feel like I get a lot of influence from that when we talk about Silvestri, Turner, Finch, all these guys. So I'm definitely trying to bring that flavor, trying to bring that kind of Top Cow flavor without being a complete ripoff. And the guys I hired to do stories for me, I'm bringing that same flavor too. So I'm going to show you some art from them as well before we get out of here, because I'm extremely excited for what they're bringing to the table. Keep doing backgrounds like that above. I will definitely try, man. I will definitely try. I'm still kind of in this mode of making New York City its own character. You know, I want it to have its own feel, not like, because this is my world's version of New York City, you know. So there's some certain things technology wise and things you're going to see. This is more of kind of like a slums area, just more of a natural area in the city that they're in. But you're going to see more inner city stuff where it's going to be a little bit more technology that I put into this world than modern day time. So I will keep on doing my best, but I appreciate that, Jasper. All right, there is no, that's out of the way. Let me bring up this other piece. I think I showed that before. You know what? I'm going to show you guys a brand new piece that has not been shown yet. Well, let me find it. This will be a first. This will be a exclusive. Here we go. Let me bring this up. So this is going to be from the supplemental book. Get this downloaded first. That we are going to be putting on the campaign in the next couple of months. Basically, what I'm doing is waiting for a couple of these pages to be colored so that I can properly advertise and promote for you guys. Because showing the black and white is great, but if I'm putting it up on the campaign, I want a semi-finished colored page or a finished colored page without script. So you get a feel for what the book is actually going to look like. This is from my Apophis story, which is the character that inhabits the suit of armor along with Matthew. They're pretty much the prisoners of this suit. And this is going to tell a little bit of a backstory of how he got to the situation he's at. I'll just say that. This is, let me switch this. This is Oliver. Man, I can never remember his name. God, I'm horrible at it. Let me just pop this. I'm going to tell you his actual name so I can properly advertise who's drawing this. Mostly it's because I'm horrible at pronouncing names. It's Isabedra. Oliver Isabedra. I'm hoping I pronounced that right. Isabedra. This is a guy that I saw. He did some stuff for Graveyard Shift. I think cards mainly. But I hired him to do this story because I loved his art. I thought it fit what we were doing here at Superior Press, which is kind of like that 90s Top Cow kind of feel. And he's just a sick artist.
Yeah, he's just talented.
Absolutely. Just I see his layouts are great. His finished product, like right here, this black and white. It almost makes me want to put out a black and white version of this, although I'm not going to because this is so much stuff to print. But this is Oliver Isabedra. This is my character Apophis here on the right. And I'm not going to get too much into what this story is, but there is a showdown. Imagine this story being a cross between Mortal Kombat and Ninja Scroll. Yeah, I'll just say that. It's a very action-oriented story. But I geek out every time I see his art. He absolutely kills it. Absolutely kills it. And once he says, wow. Yeah, guys, go check out Oliver Isabedra. He's on Twitter and he is on Instagram. He's a good follow. He's a fantastic artist. If you like good art, check out the stuff he's doing. Apophis is wicked. Looking forward to the supplemental almost as much as the main book. Thank you, man. Again, if you guys get the Destroyer tier, this is already included. You don't have to do anything. It will already be in there when we go to fulfill. Otherwise, we will drop this book. If you are a current backer, I'll give you a secret link so you don't have to pay extra shipping. It'll just go into your order, and all you have to do is pay for the book. Everybody else, you will just have to pay for it like an actual book. So this is that. That's that from the Apophis story. Written by me, drawn by Oliver Isabedra. I keep saying that because I want to try to remember it one of these days. But yeah, solid stuff. And hopefully my colorist that I'm trying out for this will work out and I can go with him. And I'll show you some samples of that when we get it. Show you one more thing before we get to the absolute exclusive update that I will be releasing on the official campaign. And by the way, Sean has seen all these. He sees everything first.
Yeah, slap my DMs for NFTs.
And
I'll get back to you eventually.
Eventually. All right, what do I want to show here? Let's do this one. Yeah, we'll do that one. This is from the story that Kayla, we all know Kayla, co-host here on Appreciating Comic Book Art Live, is writing for me and doing a fantastic job in that, telling a story of one of my main villains, almost an origin story of my character Vanessa, who's going to be the big bad evil character in the main book. This is drawn by Fabio Simeo, I believe is how you pronounce it. But this is just some of the pencil work from one of the pages he's turned in as well. And this is another artist I'm just extremely excited about. Love his style. He's got, love his style. He's got kind of a, what would you say, a Turner meets friggin'
Cruz.
Okay, Cruz. Yeah, he's got like 3 different artists I can see, and maybe even more than that when you actually look at some of his stuff.
It blends well.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I love it. So these are the guys I'm bringing on to do the supplemental book. It's in good hands, guys. The art for this project is in good hands, and it's really awesome to see other artists take on my characters. What was going on here? Why did that pop off?
What is all this?
You don't want to see any of that.
It's been lonely.
There we go. No, it's basically my junk. Okay. Yeah, working with all these guys is great. Follow Fabio Simeo here as well. Why does it keep doing that? I hate that. Anyway, just quick samples here of some of the art coming down the pipeline for the supplemental book that we will drop on the campaign that I'm very excited about. Very excited for you guys to read. I think it's going to be fun. Sexy, yes. Yeah, Fabio can draw some sexy ladies. That was one of the main reasons when I started talking to him. I was like, dude, I want to work with you on something. When I have a project, I will let you know. And I came up with this story, or the concept for the story, and gave it to Kayla to write, and she wrote up a work on it. And I liked it, and I was like, went to Fabio, I was like, dude, I think you would be perfect for this, because this needs sexy women, needs to have a lot of sexy appeal to it. And I was like, can't think of anybody better to do it than you. And he absolutely killed it. Opinionator says you need to document some of this stuff, like behind the scenes. This feels historic. You got everything firing on at 1000%. Writing, art, design, and everything. Well, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
We do here in the art and stuff.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I actually haven't really thought about that before. I've been so focused on getting this book together, trying to get it out in time so that I can get into, the second campaign, because I'm really anxious to get to the second campaign, because there's going to be some fun stuff in issue 2 that I can't wait to get to. But yeah, that would be cool. I would love to just document this entire thing, because this is a dream come true, living this life right now, being able to work on a project that I created when I was in my early 20s. Who knew that I'd actually be able to do it one day. Can you put the link of the artist I need to buy the spin-off story when it gets available? Yeah, I can drop. Let me see. I can drop the links of the artist's Instagram for you guys to follow them. The actual book will be added to the campaign in a couple months. I'm waiting for, like I said a little earlier, I'm waiting for some of these pages to get colored. So that I can properly show you guys what it's going to look like. Once that happens, I can start advertising it. I will then put it up on the campaign. Let's see. Embedded about this count. Why can't I share? All right, here we go. Try this. This is Fabio's account on Instagram. Go follow him and like his stuff. And this is Oliver's account as well on Instagram. I know they got Twitters as well, but this is just the quickest I could get them. But yeah, give these guys a like, follow them. They're really cool dudes, fantastic talents. And I know Oliver's doing some stuff for Phil Diaz as well coming up. So looking forward to that. Yeah, it's got a very Turner style. Absolutely does. So, okay. Last thing we're going to show. Let me open this up officially. I guess I can just show you the Dropbox. Screw it. That's not going to be not doxing anybody. It'll be all right. All right. So I'm going to be adding a preview, a 3-page preview of fully lettered colored pages to the campaign. Just kind of, if you got the ash can, you've seen the black and white version of this, but this will be the first time that anybody has seen the lettered version, kind of mock-up of what this book is actually going to look like. These will be added to the campaign and the update I'm going to do maybe tomorrow, maybe in a couple days, depends on how much time I have. But this will be a first exclusive look to the live chat here. Thank you for joining us tonight and sticking around. We really appreciate the chat. All our mods in the chat. Couldn't do this without you guys. So here we go. This is page 1 of Reaper Destroyer, lettered by Eric Weathers. And I just got this back today. There might be some small tweaks I do on this before it actually goes to print. But this is what we're doing right now just for promotional sense, so I can kind of get this out and show people the progress that we're making on this book. Because I haven't actually been able, besides showing like pencils and inks and stuff, I haven't shown like a lot of the progress that we're doing behind the scenes, book wise, color wise, finish wise, you know. So here is an absolute finished page of the book. And it's one of those things, like when you look at it, it's like, you know, now it's starting to feel real. You know, now the book is actually starting to feel real when you see its sense lettered up, all colored up. Hey, we got Don in the chat. Don Edwards. Hey, brother. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Late again. Yes. Yes. But catch the replay. It's well worth it. Well worth it. One thing I'll say about these pages that I really, really dug is I feel like this would look good in a matte paper. What do you think, Sean? Because I know a lot of people do glossing. They do gloss or whatever you want to call it. I'm leaning to possibly trying out matte. Like, I'd like to get a physical printing to see how it looks, but I feel like this would look really good in a matte color instead of gloss.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't as long as it doesn't take away from the blacks, because some mattes takes away from the stark blacks of the inks.
Yeah.
Go for it. And like
Good
you
point.
said, you're gonna get a sampler, so
Yeah,
you'll have a better idea once everything's in hand.
Yeah, I'll pay a little extra to get a little bit of a sample of a couple of these pages in hand. I want to see what the feels like, you know, the texture is as you're reading it. Is that, you know, like a pleasant experience? Because everybody does gloss, and gloss is good. But there's a part of me, like I've seen some of the books, like the Deadly Duo has kind of a matte paper, and I really like the feel of it. I like the look of it in that book. And I'm thinking, like, you know, if I do that with this, you know, how would it look? But that's kind of what I'm leaning to right now. I'm gonna try it out I'm gonna do whatever actually looks good at the end. You know, like that's it. You know, like whatever's good for the book is what we'll do. And I'll definitely go through it and make sure that that I get a lot of the experimenting out of the way so I can make the right choice. Lettering completes it, looks like a real comic. Yeah, this is one of the coolest things when you finally see something lettered. You're like, holy shit, it's a real comic. Like, I remember reading Sean's Ashcan for the first time he started the Ashcan thing, by the way.
Fuck yeah, nerds.
Let's give the credit where credit due.
Where's my
Hashtag don't forget about
flowers?
Sean.
Yeah, don't forget about me.
Sean.
Sign for Type 1, Indiegogo, live now, mailing list, make it happen. Dreams come true. I don't know. Do it. Don't be a putz.
But the first time I read his Ashcan and actually had script in there, and I was just like, this is a fucking real comic, you know, and that's when you get excited. You know, I did the same thing when I got my Ashcan. Same thing when I saw these the other day. Jacob's in the house. Hail Jacob says, Matte paper makes it look cheap. I disagree.
Wrong.
I disagree on that. Because there's a lot of comics right now that are using matte that I think look
It works.
high quality. Yeah, high quality. So I think it just depends on paper weight as well.
Yeah.
Like matte paper doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be like a thinner paperweight or cheesy or cheap like that. But what I want to do is go for the feel, the texture, just the overall experience of reading the comic, because I'm weird like that, right? I want it to smell good. I want it to look good. I want it to feel good. Like that's what I'm trying to do with this book. This is pure fire. That's a damn movie scene. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. DC does not have good matte paper. Really?
Does have a.
Oh, I swear it does not.
You're the
All right,
worst.
Yeah, sorry. Dude, dyslexia, man.
It's like.
Or glasses.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Maybe it's glasses. Maybe I need to get my eyes checked. I don't know. But I agree with you. They do have very good matte paper. That's one of the reasons why it's kind of changed my mind. The Batman run with Jimenez. I still can't pronounce that name right. I really enjoyed that, and I believe that's a matte feel. Silvestri's Batman book, I believe, is matte, and it just feels good. It looks good. Gloss, save the matte paper for line art edition. It's an idea too. It's an idea. I'm at least going to get this printed out so I can see what it looks like in feels in matte. And I got to see before I make any decisions. I have to see what these things look like in person.
And check out Primetime Mark Bolton's channel. Yesterday, him, me, and Chris, we did a topic about like printers and different papers and stock and blah 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 blah. Very informative to all the newbies that want to get their book printed. What you think you should go for?
Oh, there you go.
Some prices, So, and me and Chris derailed the chat for a little while, like we always do. But yeah, it was a good conversation. Give it a shot.
Everybody check that out. Definitely a lot of good information rolling on that stream. Jacob said, are you talking about matte paper or non-gloss paper? There is a difference. There are two different stocks. Jeez, I can't read. My terminology could be wrong. I'm not going to say I'm an expert in the terminology of that stuff, but it's what I consider matte. So
I think what Joe's
it might
going
be
with
non-gloss.
No, I think Joe's going with the proper term for matte, because the stuff that he showed me and like examples, it's going in that direction.
Yeah. Matt says sometimes the matte lets you see the art better than gloss. See, that was kind of my thought. And like, that's what I've noticed. Like sometimes I feel like colors almost pop better sometimes with the matte paper or whatever the term is for it. But if you look at stuff like when we're looking at the Deadly Duo, that's not gloss paper. There's whatever that paper is what I'm talking about. That's what I call matte. Maybe it's different, but ever since I saw that stuff, there has been a thought in my mind. I'm like, the color palette that Kayla uses, I think would show up really good on this matte, whatever you want to call paper. It would show up great on gloss as well.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a lot of fine line work within this book that I would like to make sure that it's represented as best as it can on the page. So we'll see. It might end up being gloss. Yeah, it might end up being gloss in the end. We don't know. It's just something I'm looking at. But here's page 2, a preview of page 2 with the script. And shout out to Eric Weathers for doing an excellent job, as always, with his lettering. I really like how he broke up the different voices. You got Apophis here in the white and red, and you got Matt, the Reaper Destroyer, talking in the black and white. And it just works. It plays off each other very well. And damn, Kyle is a fucking badass. All right, that dude is friggin' badass on colors. Insanity. We got Michael Bancroft in the house.
Hell.
Satin is halfway between gloss and matte. You get the pop, but without the sheen. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I would love an expert for me to be able to send this book and be like, tell me what that paper stock is, because whatever that's called, that's what I want to talk. But yeah, it might be satin. It might be satin and not matte that I'm thinking. There's something that definitely looks really good. And if it's you get the pop without the sheen, that's kind of what I'm looking for, because there are some of these books where I try to review them of the gloss that they're just really shiny. They're too shiny, especially if you're reading in a bright light. Sometimes that can be even an issue. You're reading in my studio or up in my living room. Sometimes that can be an issue with the light. So maybe it's satin. Maybe I'll just start calling it satin. Get them printed and then decide. We trust your judgment. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I appreciate you guys for sure. Hail satin. Matt does make it easier to read, no glare. Yeah, that's my overall, I think, thought on it. Like we'll be doing whatever, whether it's satin or matte. I think that's what we're going to try out first, and I want to see what it looks like, and I'll probably even show you guys when it comes time to,
silky smooth.
And I'll probably get a version in gloss because I want to see what it looks like in gloss. I'll pay a little bit extra to get this stuff so I can physically check it out, and then I'll make a decision. I know everybody's going to have their own opinion, but eventually I'll just make the decision on what I think looks best. And yeah, hopefully you guys trust my judgment. I'm going to try to put the best looking product in your hands.
And then when you're wrong and then they attack you on Twitter, you're like, you did the wrong one.
Love it. So these are, again, for the live chat. These aren't getting posted anywhere on social media. The only thing that these are going to be doing is going up on an Indiegogo update. So you'll be able to see it on the update section in the campaign. In the next couple of days, I will update and just show backers that don't follow me on Twitter or don't follow me here on YouTube of what we've got going on. This is the first time I'm actually showing some completed stuff because I've been showing a lot of the pencil works, a lot of the inked works, but I really wanted to kind of dive in and show people what they're getting with this book, full on script, especially if you didn't get the ash can that was just black and white with script. Now you get to see full on what this book is potentially going to look like. And I was excited about it. I was like, it's finally time to start showing some of this stuff. And also, hopefully, guys, you enjoyed the preview of the supplemental art that is coming. Love this page. The colors are excellent. Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, when I say I am blessed to work with the people on this book that I'm working on is 1,000% true. I've worked with some absolute legends in inking with Joe Weems and Matt Bat Banning, bringing their talents to my pencils and just giving it a great finish, if that's what you want to call it. And that was a dream come true. I'm getting to work with people like Sal Regula coming on and doing some inking, working with some new up and coming talent like Matthew Seaborn, who's been doing a fantastic job. I honestly don't know why this dude isn't working in the industry. Like, he does such a good job. Like, he should be working as an inker in the industry. And then color wise, working with Kyle Ritter is one of the best in the game at coloring, and he just brings that added element to this book that was missing. Like, I enjoyed my previous colors that I put on the book. I thought the tone matched and everything. It didn't work out. Kyle came on board and just blew it all away. Absolutely blown away. Like, I've got finished colors for pages 1 and 2 from my previous colorist. I've never shown anybody. I probably ever won't. But when you compare them side by side to what
they look like trash,
I'm telling you, as much as people loved the cover, right? People rave about the colors on the cover because it's good. This cover is great.
Yeah.
Well, Sean didn't. Although at the time he did. So maybe now I can't trust Sean on what he says.
I'm very biased. I don't like people that turn their back on my guy. Just say.
I got what you're saying. Yeah.
Call me loyal.
That's true. We'll do that. We'll call you loyal. But the colors were great on that cover. And I was excited for what he was going to do with the book. Things happen, business, all that kind of stuff. I had to move on. And when you take the stuff that I did get from him and the stuff that I got from Kyle and what Kyle's producing now, night and day difference. Absolute night and day difference. Don says, shit, that panel 4. Hell yeah. We got Rob back in the house. It didn't work out because he was
that's my guy.
I don't throw stones
I do
in this chat.
That's not what I do. There you go.
Sometimes business doesn't work out, it just,
and then sometimes they're just a fucking cunt.
Hail, Edwin. Good to see you. Good to see you. Boss? I heard a rumor about you visiting someone soon. Oh, Bancroft coming on Desolate Souls with Jay now.
Nice.
That's awesome. Check that out. That page gives me the goosebumps like when I saw Magneto drawn by Jim Lee in X-Men #1. Thank you, brother. And I'll say this without hesitation. This pose, I didn't look at any reference for it, but when I when I was thinking about the layout of this page, this is page 2. The first time you see Reaper Destroyer in his full costume, I was like, I need to do a full body shot. I want it to be a power pose, like a classic 90s power pose. That was absolutely what I was going for. And that's kind of the stuff from memory that I drew from, was like the Magneto poses, because Magneto was always put in like these powerful just stances, right?
Look at
so
me.
that was absolutely something that was on my mind when I was drawing this piece, Opinion Nerded. So straight up, yeah, like this was my tip of the cap to the 90s. And you're going to see stuff like that throughout the book. I put little Easter eggs in, whether it's like a pose that looks like a 90s pose, or, you know, whatever. There's stuff within throughout the book that if you are a fan, you grew up in the 90s, you're going to see, and you're going to be like, oh, that's cool. You know, like I put that in specifically for the 90s kids like me. Jay said, bro, you've done an incredible job so far. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. You didn't hear here first. Well, definitely let us know when that's going to happen. That's going to be really cool. Looking forward to that. Young artist going to swipe that page. Swipe away, I say. Or maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it, guys. I just want to give a really quick update on this campaign and what's going on, some of the stuff coming, some of the stuff we're working on. So we're in full progress here. We're doing pencils, we're doing inks, books being colored, book is being lettered slowly as we get the colored pages in, and it's all coming together. And hopefully I can get this thing done, sent to print in July, and I can get the pencils done in June, and I can start thinking about moving on to Reaper Destroyer, production of Reaper Destroyer issue 2, because I'd like to get into the drawing mode of that before the next campaign drops. With that being said, everybody go and check out Reaper Destroyer live on Indiegogo right now, in demand. I am very much trying to, let me refresh that. Okay, I'm very much trying to get to 900 backers. That would be an absolute dream come true. The link is in the chat if you guys haven't checked this out yet. But I'm absolutely trying to get this number up to 900. That would be phenomenal, as Bancroft would say. But thank you to everybody that's helped get this so far to 56K, almost to 57. You guys are absolutely awesome. If you get the Destroyer tier, you're getting the supplemental book automatically. Otherwise, there will be a secret tier link, so you don't have to pay shipping, and you'll be able to purchase it there. If you haven't gotten anything, you just want to buy it separate, it'll be on here as well. Again, just in my dream projects, working on it here. Go check this page out. Check out the story. I've been rambling about myself for a while. What I want to do is put some attention right now on Sean.
Look at me. Don't forget about Sean.
Don't forget about Sean.
We should make t-shirts of that.
Dude, we should.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Run with it. Yeah.
Hashtag, people forget about ordering the t-shirts.
People forget about the shirts.
They were stockpiled all this product. What a horrible idea.
Dennis said, have a great night, guys. Good luck with the campaigns. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you guys. Have a great night. Go back, type 1, everyone. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. We're signing up for it. Yeah.
Sign up first. Sorry. We're getting there. Getting pages colored. Like Joe, my colorist is highly in demand. He's constantly busy, which is a good problem. So getting pages in take a little bit of time, but you know what? They're worth it. They're worth the wait. And when we get this book out, you're going to be like, wow, this didn't suck as much as I thought it would. So I'm going to blow up your fucking socks. Like, it's not as good as the Bible, but it's better than Squirrel Girl. And yeah, it's a labor of love. And I've gone and retweaked some pages, recolor. We're getting, they're being colors. We're talking. And I'm just fucking excited. It's just 90s in your action. It's got heart. He knows a little bit of personal story and just some cool Mayan Aztec lore that'll be like, ooh, I didn't know that. Well, you know,
story's good, guys. This is gonna be a fun story.
Yeah. Just in your face action. Just it's fun. Like, I don't know. This is gonna be the best book ever, or it's not.
Hell yeah!
But I think it will be.
100%.
Set in New Jersey, so represent Jersey.
Pity Nerd says, Muay Thai kick that like button on your way out if you didn't on your way in. Yes, please, everybody, if you haven't yet, please hit that like button. It absolutely helps. Comment in the stream after it's done being live. That absolutely helps the channel as well. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Become a member. Hit the bell for notifications. Hit the bellification. Almost forgot. And we are going to get out of here. We will see you on Thursday at 8 o'clock on on Ott and Stuff.
Same shit.
It's basically the same show. Different title, same show, different title.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about a few different things. We're going to go over the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem because we have yet to give some opinions. But we're going to give us some opinions, and I want to open it up to the chat. So
you could dog on it too with us.
Yeah, briefly when I mentioned it, it seemed like a lot of people had similar opinions. We're not going to spend too long. It's going to be the opening segment of the show. And then we're going to go into the main segment, which is we're going to talk about our top 5 best 80s cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
And Sean's got an awesome list. I pretty much let him do this because he's got an immense knowledge of this stuff. And we're going to just go over that. So I want to see everybody's top 5 80s cartoons. If you were old enough to remember those, which, I'm assuming that you're probably similar to our age, or at least appreciate the 80s cartoons for what they were.
We're all 42-year-old men here anyway. So
all 42-year-old men. Yeah. So we're going to jump into that, check that out. And then if we have time, I've got this old interview I wanted to go over that Rob Liefeld did with Image Comics or Wizard Magazine that I thought was pretty fun to go into. So that's going to be Thursday, 8 o'clock. Tune in. It's just going to be us hanging out, doing our thing, whipping it out. No Pants Thursdays, since we don't have shows on Fridays anymore. That's what it is. Everybody come join us.
I'm enjoying that. I'm really enjoying that, not having to do Fridays, because like the weekends are for me.
Me too. One of the things I struck a deal because I was so busy with drawing and then the show.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of family time, so like I struck a deal. I was like, I will do everything throughout the week up until Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will just be family time.
I wish we did that last year.
I might do an occasional weekend show here or there if I'm invited on and I have the time, but I'm trying to give more family time to my family while I'm working as hard as I am. Like I'm busy. I'm just a busy guy. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't, put them on the sideline at the same time. So it's been good. It's been working out. I've been doing this now for a while where the weekends are family time and the week is work time and streaming time. It's been working out well. The show is growing. The channel is growing. So I think we're going to continue on doing that. So we will see you guys on Thursday. Before we get out of here, Sean, where can we follow you?
At Sean Ahrendt on Twitter. Look, it's very simple. At Sean Ahrendt. That's all you got to do. Don't forget about Sean. Tomorrow, CG Revolution with Mark, Mike, and Chris. Thursday with you. And then Friday, Mark and Chris are coming down here to spend the night. I'm going to be signing the Ride and Pain Streets from Type 1 print that Chris and Z colored. So we're probably going to stream that in the morning, afternoon, watch Killer Goats. I'm really excited just to hang out with my guys for the week, for the night. And then, back Coney Waves by Mark. Sign up for Ride and Pain by Mark and Chris. Cool. All right, word. Nice. Yeah, I basically just redid Die Hard with like Spiral Zone. We're gonna talk all about that on Thursday.
Matt says Type 1 is looking dope. Hell
really
yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Playing a lot. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun to create your own world.
Jasper is telling everybody that Fantastic Comics is live. Everybody go check that out. Jasper, you have a link. You're a mod. Drop a link for that. Yeah, everybody check that out. You follow me, Twitter, social media, Joe Sanzag, you'll find me. Go back, Reaper Destroyer, go sign up for Type 1. Go buy good comic books on the shelves like Ronin Book 2 and Batman and the Joker, the Deadly Duo. Before we get out of here, a huge thanks to the chat and everybody joining us tonight. I know a lot of people were streaming tonight and you guys came in and hung out with us. We appreciate you very much. We love you. Love the mods there in the chat as well. And I love all the members of the channel. Thank you so much. We could not do any of this without you guys. We're going to get
love and support to our very own Kayla. We love you. Take all the time you need, but not too long because I'm not that smart. And we miss you.
100%. We're going to get out of here. As always, be good to each other. Take care of one another and picture me naked.
When in doubt, pull out.
Peace.